Hello folks, so let's speak about the month of May. Remember, as usual, this is the sidereal system, so if you don't know your sign, you can check on my website. There's an online calculator which will show you your ascendant and moon sign, which is what I cover in the monthly forecasts. Yeah. And to the regular subscribers, feel free to give me your feedback about your experience so far with the Jupiter movement at that Gandant zone, yeah, from Pisces to Aries transition. All right, so let's get into this. Now, what's happening in May? In any month, there are 3 special days when the energy of the universe is resetting. And that's when both of the sun and the moon are going through shifts. Yeah, so the movement of the sun every month is known as Sankranti. The full moon and new moon cycles are the shifts of energy in the moon cycles. Yeah, that's when the emotional body goes through a reset and perhaps some changes. If you ever wanted to start a remedy, these are the times to do it, especially on a lunar or solar eclipse. Those are powerful times to start a remedy. And May will give you that opportunity as we have another eclipse coming up. There's a full moon lunar eclipse on May the 5th in Libra in Vishaka. Now, remember that the key thing about life is change, right? Technology dates, paper yellows, cars rust, depression lifts, night morphs into day, and so on. So every eclipse cycle brings change of some type, internal or external, which is why the eclipses are feared, right? Now, of course, if you're going through a nodal dasha, you're more aware of this shift that takes place. And you're just simply more aware that life is ever-changing and nothing is permanent, right? I have in fact made a separate video on this eclipse, which I'm going to upload in a couple of days. So go through it for a more detailed analysis. All right, so as usual, we start with Aries. All the attention, again, is on you this month, and life could easily take a new direction now. To begin with, the month starts with Jupiter, Rahu, Sun, and Mercury in your first house, making you stand out. You can also be popular. You can be in demand. People will seek your company. And relationships will be a priority. You will notice that people are reaching out to you, and you will be reaching out to others as well. You'll get invites to go out without making much of an effort to reach out to others. And you can easily meet some new people at this time. So if that's what you wanted to do, then make that effort. You have 5th Lord Sun and 9th Lord Jupiter conjunct in your first house. And this is an exceptionally lucky influence for you. Romance can feature now. Meeting someone new can easily happen. It's a great time for students, great time for traveling overseas. And you have the support of others now, if you look, if you seek it. Yeah, especially your elders. Mercury, 6th Lord retrograde there suggests some old disputes or problems can come back now, and you can finally get some closure. Lagna Lord Mars is still moving through your 3rd house. Great for taking action. It's good for travel pursuits, learning a new subject, learning a new skill. It will give you the courage to take chances and take big leaps. It can be a good time to launch something new, especially if it's an independent project. It's also a good time to get back to your exercise routines. Yeah. Career can also get a boost now. Now, with the eclipse on May 5th in your 7th house, relationship matters that were stuck will move forward now with Jupiter's aspect there. Yeah. If you had a relationship that was perhaps on rocky ground, And then this eclipse can bring about a final breakdown also. Yeah. Venus, your 7th lord, will move into Gemini on May the 2nd. Good for connecting with siblings, socializing just generally, dating, connecting with others, especially through social media. Here Mars will be with Venus till May the 17th. So you can make some quick decisions about others now. So be watchful of that. On May the 15th, the sun moves into Taurus. And you could be thinking about money matters now. In fact, now would be a good time to take stock of your finances, of your investments. We have a new moon cycle as well in the sign of Taurus on May the 19th. So you could receive some good news about money matters at this time. Lagna Lord in 4th house from May the 17th till July the 1st could have you thinking about property matters, home improvements, connecting with your family. And Jupiter moving through Aries will help you get your confidence back and feel as though you can do anything. And maybe you've already started to feel that energy. Luck is on your side. If you're Aries moon, this is the time, in fact, you'll be questioning your life path. And you can have some breakthroughs there. You can be thinking about making some big life changes. You're getting the green signal in many areas of life now. And things are finally moving forward that may have felt stuck for a while. Okay, Taurus, what's happening for you? Well, we start the month with Lagna Lord Venus moving into your 2nd house, which is an excellent transit for money, for relationship matters. Its aspect on your 8th house can make you attractive to others. All the action, though, takes place in your 12th house this month. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and you also may be keeping secrets now. It can mean spontaneous connections for some people. It can mean affairs for some people. Jupiter's aspect on the 6th can be good for health issues that may have troubled you, and you could see some good news there. Yeah. Be watchful of anxiety. You may have trouble sleeping now, and you may also have very, very vivid, disturbing dreams as well. It is, however, a good time for making amends with relationships that may have gone sour since last summer. 7th Lord Mars in the 2nd house can bring some friction in family life. A trend that's kind of been carrying on since last August. Don't get into unnecessary gossip, backbiting with others, things like that. Mars movement into Cancer mid-month is a much better transit for you. Though here be cautious about taking unethical actions. And in fact, it may be your partner that is doing that, so be on the lookout for that. The eclipse takes place in Libra in your 6th house, so you can face some disputes from the past disturbing you now, or past problems coming back. A solution or final resolution will also come your way, though. Yeah. With Sun moving into your 1st house, this will be the first sign of improvement on May the 15th. And then on May the 19th, there is a new moon in your sign in Taurus, pointing to fresh starts here. You'll now feel more in control of matters that were disturbing you. Gemini. Now, Gemini, similar to last month, this month starts with Mercury, Lagna Lord, in the 11th house with Rahu and Jupiter and Sun, which is an excellent transit for you. It can help with learning new skills. It can help with networking, with career progress. Earnings can see a boost, or you may even get an additional source of income now. Mars in Gemini in the 1st house can make you feel impatient, though, easily agitated as well. Relationships can also suffer because of this Mars transit, with your intimate partners, of course, but also with your siblings. Venus moving into Gemini on May the 2nd can bring some relief to relationship problems, as you will be perceived in a more favorable light then. Those in Mars Dasha can feel energized and confident. Good, especially for those that are self-employed or in business, as it's 11th Lord in the 1st house, right? So it's good for taking initiatives as well. You have a full moon eclipse in your 5th house. This means that you could be starting something new. a new project, a new business. This is the time that you can see some breakthroughs with people showing up to help you achieve your objectives with so much energy in that 11th house. Relationships can feel unstable at the moment with Mars and Venus in the first, and something can get triggered at this eclipse that brings a closure or a resolution, depending on what dasha you're going through. Yeah. Things will improve significantly mid-month for you as Lagna Lord Mercury goes direct on May the 15th. Mars moves out of Gemini on May the 12th, though it's going to be in your second house, so that can still cause some issues with family. Watch your speech with Mars in Cancer transit. Now, the month ends with a lot of activity in your 11th house, so you'll be out and about this month. Yeah, great time for networking, great time for connecting with others. If you have a career, then this can help you grow further. And if not, you can easily attract the right opportunities now. You'll want to be more visible at this time, and you'll feel more extroverted as well. Sun moving into Taurus on May the 15th, and the new moon in your 12th house on May 19th can mean a break from all the activity and visibility. And it would be a good time, in fact, to retreat a little bit at this time. Yeah. So, Cancer, for you, the month starts with a heavy concentration of energy in the 10th house. So, career matters will get a shake-up now. If you're looking for a job or you're changing your career, you can see some breakthroughs now. You'll want to be social. You'll want to connect with others. You can also get recognition in your work now. Lunar eclipse in the 4th house can also mean a move is on the cards, or a new career opportunity is bringing a move or travel. You'll feel productive, and you can in fact accomplish a lot this month. Yeah. Venus moving into your 12th house of Gemini on May the 2nd also supports a move or travel abroad. Travel abroad can also feature now. There's been so much focus on the 410 angles. It means that your foundation in some way is being recalibrated, redesigned. Right? May 5th, lunar eclipse in your 4th house means that these foundational changes could see some progress. Is it also time for managing property matters, right? Because it's a 410 axis. It's so strong this month. It will bring a lot of activity and some progress with respect to your career. Lots of focus on the domestic front. You may also have to make changes in your home, repairs, renovations, that kind of thing. If you wanted to buy a property, it's a time that you can see some breakthroughs. But with Mercury retrograde, double check agreements now. Sun moving from your 10th to your 11th house mid-month is another good Sun transit, and it can give your earnings a boost. It will give you energy and drive as well. You would see more income if there's a new job, then it would be what you wanted, right? With a better income. Or if it's the same job, then a promotion can happen at this time, provided your dasha supports this. Yes. Especially around May the 19th, when we have a new moon cycle in Taurus, you can see some progress here. Mars movement into your 3rd house is a very supportive transit for you. It's Yogarka in the 3rd house. So you can get the green signal to take action where you felt stuck. Relationships with children can see some improvements now too. This is a welcome change from Mars's 12th house transit. Overall, it's an excellent month for you to make lifestyle changes. Second half is much more productive. So, for Leo, what's happening for you? Well, you start the month with Lagna Lord in the 9th house, which can make you feel very energized now. With so much action taking place in that 9th house, you can also feel zapped, right? Lagna Lord Sun is with Jupiter and with Rahu. So you can feel zapped, and you can feel even more so that way when the eclipses are hitting there. So take some time out for rest. Lagna Lord moving into the 10th house on May 15th will have you focus on career and money matters. And it will be a calmer transit for you. You may also see a sudden increase in profits if you're self-employed. Good time to take strides in career and put your energy on work on your career. The full moon eclipse takes place in your 3rd house on May the 5th. So be mindful of communications now, especially with Mercury retrograde as well. Delay important communications if you can. There may be some misunderstandings, so take care with planning because you may miss some details. If you're signing or negotiating contracts, you can run into some setbacks, so better to go slow. Venus in Gemini will balance some of this to some extent. Yeah, this Venus transit is also good for money matters, especially if your dasha is favorable, as well as it's great for socializing, for dating, for networking, for connecting with friends, especially friends from the past. That was a good time for that. You have Yokarka Mars moving to your 12th house on May the 11th. 9th Lord in 12th house. It's a time that you may be thinking about a move, especially to a foreign residence. It's also a good transit for any property-related matters, buying, selling, anything like that. Though I would say if you can wait to finalize this after Mercury goes direct on May the 15th, that would be more favorable for you. You could be spending money related to your home, and expenses could go up in this area also now. Jupiter moving out of Gandant and into Aries can start to feel good now for you. And you can get some lucky breaks as well. You'll start to feel more outgoing now, and you'll feel more like connecting with others with so many planets in the 9th house, the 10th house, the 11th house. This is unlike how you may have been feeling for the past few months. Yeah. Virgo. For you, all the action takes place in the 8th house. There was an eclipse here that could have brought some news about your financial situation. There's a lot of focus on investments, on wealth, on just getting your finances in order. Maybe you could have lost a source of income, or maybe you could have seen a dip in your financial situation. Looking at new sources of income with Jupiter's help now, you should see a breakthrough. Perhaps finding better deals if you have a mortgage. If you're studying or researching a new subject, you can also see some breakthroughs now with Jupiter there. Venus moving into Gemini can give career matters a boost. And you could find a new well-paying career opportunity if you were looking for that. An eclipse in your 2nd house on May the 5th also points to some breakthrough in your money situation. It can also be a time when you experience some changes in your home environment. A dispute with family that has been ongoing can see some culmination now. Pay attention to health matters because stresses can be high for you now. You have Lagna Lord Mercury in retrograde in Aries, so this adds to the stress factor. And the Parivartan with Mars in your 10th house could mean some troubles at workplace. Could be office politics, it could be gossip. So keep a low profile where you can. This will ease up a little bit by mid-month. The first sign of relief is when Mars moves into Cancer on May the 12th. Here, Mars, it's not a friendly planet for you, but it can put your focus back onto making money and finding new ways to expand your resources. It can be tricky, though, for relationships with your children, so try not to get into confrontations, because that can backfire at this time. Sun moving into your 9th house could bring some travel, and you might be keen to get away at this time. The same day on May 15th, your ruler Mercury goes direct, so this is also a relief. The month is easier to navigate in the second half, so if you can, resist taking actions in the first half. Yeah, that will benefit you. Libra, what's happening for you? Well, you are again in the spotlight. We've got an eclipse happening in Libra in could be your first house, could be where your moon sits. Either way, it's a prominent it's a prominent transit for you. This happens on May the 5th. Focus again is on your relationships, as it has been for the past year or so. So much energy in your 7th house can have you very busy with your partner. If you're single, now is the time to make yourself more visible. Get out, meet people. The month starts with a bang with that May the 5th eclipse in Libra in your first house where Ketu has been transiting. You'll feel some relief if you're a Swati Rashi, right? Because now the eclipses are starting to take place in Vishaka. With so much focus on the 7th house, it would make it a good time to figure out what you want in your relationships. And it's important to be honest with yourself at this time. You may feel pressure from a relationship partner for a commitment, or you can see people coming into your life and leaving just as quickly also. Again, it depends on what dasha you're experiencing. See how that's going to play out. 7th Lord Mars continues its journey in your 9th house. So you may also feel some pressure from like mentors, your father, people who guide you. So you may not get some sound advice, being Mars is not a favorable planet for you in Gemini, transiting Gemini. With Mars's aspect on 3rd house, you may get into petty confrontations as well. So watch for that. You have Lagna Lord Venus joining Mars in Gemini on May 2nd, and all the planetary energy in the 7th house in mid-month onward. So people can be making a lot of demands on your time now. The focus is on relationships, connecting with others. Mars leaving for Cancer on May the 12th is beneficial for you. It like puts the fire back into career, which is where we want it to be, or your work sector. Right? It can have you ready to take some action. You can get your drive back, your energy back as well. Sun's movement into your 8th house on May the 15th can bring some unexpected expenses. Take care of your health and well-being as stress levels can be high for you at this time. Yeah. Scorpio, what's happening for you? This month can feel difficult with so much energy in the 6th and 8th house, but by mid-month, things will get easier. Yeah, when Mars moves into Cancer. Pay particular attention to your health and stress levels with all that 6th house action and Lagna Lord going into debility. Yeah, it's a good time to change your routine for the better with so much focus on that 6th house. Try new regimes like yoga. Spiritual practices are very good now and can work wonders. Mars starts off in the 8th, which can bring some challenges with family members as well. And this is something that you would have been experiencing with that Mars in Gemini transit. If you wanted to put into place a new exercise fitness regime, now is the time. A very good time. Stay out of workplace drama, because that can transpire now easily. Disagreements of all kinds. Venus moving into the 8th house, joining Lagna Lord Mars, can bring some problems with partners due to miscommunications. Lunar eclipse in your 12th house can have you thinking about letting go of relationships that have simply not stood the test of time. This is an excellent time for closure if you wanted to move on, to let the relationship go. Sun moving into Taurus, your 7th house on May 15th also supports this. You'll experience a new moon in the 7th house on May the 20th, which can bring some revival in relationships. And certainly you can meet someone new at this time as well. It's a difficult month for you, but the stress will lessen mid-month onward. Sagittarius. For you, the month starts with a lunar eclipse in the 11th house. Here you can see an income source may dry up or disappear, or you may have a new idea on making money and you're thinking about implementing that. Friends and network circles can be helpful now. So go out, connect with others. Lagna Lord Jupiter is in 5th house and moving toward Rahu. So don't get carried away with new ideas for work, for new projects. I would say wait till next month to make big leaps when the picture is more clear. By June the 1st, Jupiter and Rahu start to move away from each other. So it's much better next month to launch something new or make final decisions, even about people that you may have met. In the same way, refrain from decisions regarding your business until June. Yeah. Now, if you have children, then you can face some stress with them as there may be many demands on your time. Mars in your 7th house can make you very vocal about problems in your relationships, and you can get into fights with others now. Watch for gossip. It can come back to haunt you. Venus moves into your 7th house, and this can alleviate some of the relationship problems. If you're single, then you can easily meet someone now. You will definitely be popular at this time. Sun moves into your 6th house, and there's a new moon there on May the 20th. So you can see some progress in work matters. If you wanted to create healthy new routines, this is the time to do it. So for Capricorn, what's happening for you? Lunar eclipse, of course, takes place in your 10th house this month on May the 5th. Eclipses in the 4-10 axis usually shake up your foundation. You may be moving, you may be planning a move. You can experience changes in your career as well. It could be a sudden opportunity that comes up now. You may have left a job recently and you're looking for a new opportunity. You can see some progress here. Venus moving to your 6th house supports a new job coming along, but can cause some friction in your relationships, especially since you have Lagna Lord moving through the 2nd house as well. Your Lagna Lord is strong now. For those with Capricorn moon, this is the last leg of your Sade Sati also. But the transit through the 2nd house can see you go through some money restrictions. Yeah. Now, Sun moves into Taurus, your 5th house, on May 15th, where there's a new moon cycle beginning as well on May the 19th. So if you thought about starting something new, this is an excellent time to look more into it. There's a lot of changes happening in your domestic and career sphere. Mars, 4th Lord, moving into your 7th house can bring some disagreement with relationships. There may be a move on the cards also related to relationship issues that have been ongoing. I think second half of the month will be supportive, especially a good time to be with your children, if you have any. Oh. Aquarius. Well, we start the month with a lunar eclipse taking place in your 9th house. This could bring some changes in your career. An unplanned trip could also come up now related to your job. It may also result in, this eclipse may also result in some disagreements with your father or father-like figures or those with some authority in your life. Venus in Gemini transit is excellent for you, which starts on May the 2nd. It will ease some of the problems that may have come up with this lunar eclipse. So keep the communications simple, and that's going to help you out now. There's a lot of energy in your 3rd house. Something could come up with your younger siblings as well at this time. Sun being 7th Lord in the 3rd house can be good for business. It can be good for work projects. It can be good for any entrepreneurial retreats. There's a lot of focus on connecting with others now, and things can happen very quickly. If you're making any new starts, especially, right? Particularly related to new relationships. Mars movement into your 6th house in Cancer on May the 12th is also favorable and will alleviate any stresses on account of children that you may have been experiencing. It's also favorable for bringing work if you're self-employed or if you have your own business. Right? Sun movement into your 4th house and a new moon there on May the 19th can mean domestic problems will resurface now. And that's something that you would have been experiencing for some time now with that Mars transit in Taurus since August of last year. If you've been having issues with your partner, then this can bring some kind of a culmination now. Some old drama can also resurface here. There'll be a lot of activity this month to keep you busy. Pisces, what's happening with you? So the lunar eclipse takes place in your 8th house. This can bring some health issues to the surface or some concerns that you had to the surface. It could be a good time, however, to get your finances in order, especially if you have joint finances with your partner. It's not a good time to take risks, though, and it's not a good time to close finance deals unless you're doing it with family members. It is, however, a good time for business. It's a good time for travel, if that's on your agenda. Lagna Lord is favorably positioned for you in the 2nd house, especially if your moon is in Pisces. There's a lot of energy concentrated in the second house, if you thought about making changes to your diet or to upgrade your wardrobe, this is a good time to look into it. Mars moving to the 5th house on May the 12th will feel like a relief from the difficult 4th house transit you've been having. Though from here it aspects your 8th house. So again, attention is back onto finances, investments. This may be a concern for you at the moment. It's a good time to seek solutions in these areas of life. Sun moving into Taurus and a new moon there on May 19th is excellent for making some self-starts, for taking some new initiatives. It's, as I said, a good time to travel. And also for those who have their own business, you can see some growth at this time. There's a lot of concentration on finances for you this month. So it's a good time to take charge with those matters in your life. Yeah. Well, that's all for now, folks. All the best.